This is a conversation that I never thought that I would be having on Unfiltered Heart Talks. But here I am in the dead of the night, wondering where did it all go wrong? What were the real challenges? What are the challenges? And the reality is, there are so many men out there who are going through the same challenge, the same struggle that I am going to be talking about right now. And let's be honest for a second, guys. Dating a woman with children or with a child is not the same as dating a woman without children. There is a lot that you have to factor in, a lot that you have to consider. And there are a lot of men who walk into relationships with women, with children, not understanding what they're signing up for. Or some might understand, but they might have different expectations, expecting different outcomes. Many men don't even know what they're walking into. Now, this is not me saying that single mothers don't deserve love, because let's be honest, if a woman decides to dedicate herself, to give herself completely to one man, and in return, that one man decides to betray her by cheating or walking out when kids are involved, then hey, let's be honest. It's not like she is one who is just walking around sleeping with multiple men and having multiple children. So, in reality, when I talk about this, I am factoring in all the different cases. So, I'm not just using one paintbrush to paint all. But the reality is, there are a lot of challenges that comes with dating a woman with children. There are a lot of challenges that comes with being married to a woman with children. There is a lot to factor in and a lot that people don't even talk about. And if you are not prepared for the challenges, if you are not prepared for the unexpected situations, this can not only destroy the relationship you share with a single mom, but also destroy you and your peace. Tonight, I just had to have this conversation. And of course, I'm not having this conversation alone. I'm having this conversation with none other than my wife, my beautiful wife.
Hey.
Our love isn't absent problems, but it sure is absent drama. You deserve this kind of love. Unfiltered Heart Talks with the Dawkins.
So, babe, based on everything I said, what are your thoughts? Do you agree or disagree?
Well, I can say that at one point, when I would do the YouTube searches on whether about single moms and, the chances of getting back into a relationship, I felt very discouraged because it seemed like, single moms were at the bottom of the barrel and women like us had no chance at ever finding a relationship because most people view children as baggage, or if they don't view them as baggage, they want to start their family on their own. But I do understand it, everyone wants to start fresh. They want to do their own thing. They want to build their own thing. But it took me a while to understand. There's a lot that goes into dating a woman with children. It is not simple. It's now the woman, her child, and possibly the ex partner that you would have to deal with. So it's
Yes.
very complicated.
Yes, and that is so true. I've heard so many stories, even ones close to home.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I used to hear men talk about when it comes to dating single moms is that if you're dating a single mom, you don't really need to worry about the children. You just need to focus on her.
Mm.
Because if the children's or the child father is present in his or her or their life, then you don't need to worry about that.
Mm.
But is that actually the reality? Because in most cases, even if it is not said by her to you, there are certain expectations.
Absolutely.
And the reality is, when you enter into the life of a woman with children, you are not only entering into her life, but you are entering into the children's life as well. And you have to take into consideration
Mm-hmm.
the reality that there was already a family dynamic
Absolutely.
that you will have no control over as a man.
Yes.
As the man going in, you will have to learn how to adapt to her schedule,
Mm-hmm.
her timing, and the way she does things at home.
Absolutely. A
You know?
relationship like that would definitely have a lot of boundaries.
Mm,
A lot of boundaries. But then again, age of the children, have to be factored in, because if you're talking about late teens, then there's not much of a responsibility. But if you're talking about younger children,
mhm.
then there's going to be a heavier responsibility, maybe not financially, but in an influential way.
Recently we were watching Famous, Pop the Balloon and Find Love.
Or find love.
Yeah. And you remember the guy who decided not to date the single mom. And I think he had a valuable reason. His reason was she has two daughters and they're in their
Mm.
teens.
Yes, that one. Yeah, I remember.
And he said that he could not see himself enter into a situation like that. And a lot of people would, probably look at it and come up with their own assumptions. But I completely understand.
Yes.
I 100% get that,
What was
because
his reasoning?
and that's what I'm coming to now.
Mhm.
When you are entering into a relationship with a single mom who has daughters, as a man, there is a lot that can go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so many different cases of men being wrongfully accused just because of a bitter mother who did not have things go
Her
her
way.
way. And for me, that is downright vindictive,
Absolutely.
And so for us men, when you are going to date a woman, a single mother, a single mom, these are things that you really have to factor in.
Mm-hmm.
She has a daughter. How old is that daughter? What are the risks? The risks are high, especially when it's daughters, because I was seeing this case one time where the father was accused because the mother was bitter, and I just watched how this guy was dragged through the court system for something that he did not do. Eventually, they found out that the mother was coaching the child to lie on this innocent man, So these are some of the things that you really have to think about when you
Wickedness their
date.
world.
Wickedness their world.
Wickedness their world.
And these are the reality that a lot of men face when you date single moms.
And then another thing too we notice is how the mother carried herself, and she's a teen mom. She dressed very skimpy, which means that her daughters probably dressed the
That's on
very
Pop the Balloon.
same
Yes,
way.
exactly.
So that was like a huge red flag. You see, if she was a woman with two teen daughters and she looked responsible, she was modestly dressed, then you could say, well, she looks like a responsible woman and her daughters are probably a reflection of her. But the way she was dressed, she was not. She was looking like a night walker.
Honestly, she looked ghetto. That's just what it was.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't look like a woman who was going to try and find love and pop the balloon.
Mm.
Looked like she was just either trying to find a hookup or
Clout.
cloud, and that's the truth. Like people, like image
It's
it's not
important.
everything, but it is very important.
Definitely.
Because if you look good with an ugly character, you're still going to look ugly,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But image is very important, and how you present yourself, people are going to draw a conclusion based on how you present yourself. So
Absolutely.
for me, I would have popped. I would have popped and I would have said, nope. Because if you're looking like this and you
Imagine what
have
your
two
daughters
teen
look
daughters,
like.
what are you teaching them?
Dang.
And that's the next thing. I think one of the biggest challenge that men have with single moms in dating, one of, a lot of men are expected to be financially involved in the child's life. As I said, whether it is asked of you, yes or no, as a man, if you're a real guy, a real solid man, you're just automatically going to want to pour in, you know. And the truth is, women, single moms, if I'm wrong, hey, correct me. I believe that even if a woman doesn't say it to the man, she's still expecting him. Either consciously or subconsciously, she's still looking at him to say, hey, do something for my child, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's going back to school. What are you planning on doing? You know, so there is that financial expectation there. And the thing about it is that even though you are fully involved, you are invested in the woman, her children, when it comes to discipline, that's where you find that a lot of men complain, because a lot of women, they want you to pour in emotionally, physically, financially, but when it comes to disciplining the child, it's like, hey, no, that's not your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it baffles my mind when you have solid guys in women's life, single mom's life, and you don't want them to discipline your child. And I remember while we were courting, you were a single mom.
Yes.
And the question I wanted to ask is, what were your expectations of me?
Hmm. Honestly, my expectations were to find someone I trusted, to find someone who would be safe for my children, to find someone who is filled with love that can love my children as their own. Most of all, I wanted a good role model
Mm-hmm.
for my children, someone who could teach them valuable lessons, who can instill discipline within them, who can love them, who can be a role model to them, especially my son, because he doesn't have a good role model. So I wanted that for him. And I saw that in your character, not just through a courting phase, but I've seen how you've evolved. I've known you from
Yeah, idea you need.
yeah, I have a need. And I understood your values. I knew where you stood.
Yeah.
And I wanted, when I look at you,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never said this before to anyone, I would want my son to become somebody like you.
Mm. Well,
Yeah. So
appreciate that.
when I looked at that, it wasn't just, oh, we're going to be together and he's my first love. No, it's, yes, you're my first love. That's the icing and the sprinkles and the cherry on top.
Mm-hmm.
However, you have flour. This cake is made of whole wheat einkorn flour, right? Einkorn flour is an unhybridized wheat. You know, make a white flour, the cheap
Right.
foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
This cake is made of whole wheat einkorn flour and pasture raised eggs,
Right.
organic pasture. So it's you have a solid foundation. You're a
Right.
solid person, and I knew that your presence in my life would add value not only to me but to my children's life. And I knew, based on our many interactions with children from way back to currently, you're very good with children.
I am.
So those were my expectations.
Yeah. You know, it always baffles my mind, like, kids are always drawn to me. Like, I remember even while I was actively involved in church, I was children's, what do I call it again? Children's ministry director or children's director, something like that. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I remember I just went to this church and the kids they were just sitting down in church. They were doing nothing. And I said, hey,
You're gone too
you,
far. Go back to Campbell's Castle. Go back to Campbell's
I'm like,
Castle.
what? You said I'm going. No, but like, Campbell's
Yeah,
Castle,
that's
I was
the
much younger too,
yes.
and all the children would just,
Yeah.
yeah. I love children, and for some reason, children always just flock
Flock
to
to
me.
you, yeah.
Um,
I remember I couldn't even
don't wear out the thing, but I'm like a mother hen. What's-
You're like a mother hen. Oh my god. Leave that in.
no,
You're
but
like
like
a
seriously,
yeah.
like seriously, children always flock to me. Like everywhere
That's
I
true.
go,
That's
kids
true.
just always gravitate to me.
I remember even at
you know.
Campbell's Castle sometimes I couldn't get some time with you because the
The
children were
children
just
were
all
always,
around you.
yeah, yeah.
But that was a good sign for me. That
Yeah.
made me know that you're good
Yeah.
with kids and you probably
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, my thing when I was, because this is something that me and my best friend we would talk about. And he said, yo, you're gonna be married to a woman with 2 kids, right? I said, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we used to talk about the risk. We used to talk about just the reality
Mhm.
of life and some of the things that I would realistically have to deal with. And of course, I used to talk with you about some of those things. And I told you that, hey, I know that, for a lot of single moms, because I know mothers are by nature nurturers.
Mhm.
And that is why I always share that a mother, I don't believe, while there are mothers who grow their children by themselves and some of those children turn out to be good or to do good, statistics shows that sole parent fathers does way better in school and in life than sole parent mothers. But the reality is mothers are nurturers by nature. And so for a woman, you come into her life as a man and you are offering to discipline her child. That nurturing side is going to kick in. She's going to get all sobby, mushy, and, there are certain things that she might not want you to do, or she might not even want you to talk to the child a certain kind of way. So that was one of my major concerns. And you remember I used to talk to you about that. I say, hey, I love kids, but you know how I am when it comes to discipline. I like to know that, children are disciplined and they're raised well.
Yeah.
Because I believe that discipline will not only take them through the school system, but all the way throughout their entire life. So that was one of my major concern. I wasn't too concerned about the father being actively involved in their life. That is a huge concern for a lot of men. And it's a vital concern because if the father is some crazy dude or is the father is some kind of guy who, if you discipline the child,
Stalker, obsessive.
you
You
know,
discipline the child and it becomes a whole lawsuit that you did something that
exactly
you
that
didn't do and
you
then
know,
you're in
and
problems. Yeah.
and honestly, that is something that a lot of guys have to deal with.
Yeah.
You discipline this child and the dad shows up and he wants to fight you. So for me, I wasn't too concerned about that part of our relationship as it relates to disciplining the children
Why?
because we are both Jamaicans and we understand what positive discipline looks like.
Yeah, and positive
Right.
reinforcement.
Yeah.
And
So I'm not talking
training.
about spanking a child.
Yes.
There are certain things that we just do not practice. There are certain things that we will never allow our children to do. There are certain behaviors that we will never allow in our children. And so
Or enable.
are
Yes.
enabled. And so I wasn't too concerned about that because we have the same morals and we share the same values.
Yes.
But for a lot of other men, as I said, it's a real life struggle that they have to deal with. And I've seen so many videos, some close to home too, some experience close to home where a man is trying to discipline the child, and you would think that the mother seen this man trying to discipline their child in a positive way. Because if you look at some of these videos, or if you understand some of these experiences that are shared, you can clearly see, explicitly see, that nothing is wrong with the way in which this man is disciplining the child.
Mm-hmm.
But the mother, you would expect to join with the father or to join with the stepdad to say, hey, your stepdad is right, X, Y, and Z, and you need to listen. They side with the child,
Yeah.
and
It's
that's
like
a level of disrespect that a lot of men out there have to deal with.
it's
And for me, if you are experiencing that kind of disrespect in your household or in your relationship as a stepdad, bro, I don't think that you will ever get the respect that you need. You might just need to pack your bags and leave. And that's just the reality.
yeah. And the thing is, I think women, single moms, can put themselves in a mindset. It's the nurturing mindset where it's the world against me and my children.
Mm,
So even moving on to a new relationship and allowing the the new member of the family to be as involved is something hard.
mm,
And it could be because she's thinking it's me and my children against the whole world and I have to
mm.
protect them at all cost. But I believe that age has a lot to do with how things work out. The age of children and when a man becomes present in a single mother's life.
I don't think age has much to do with it. I know age is a factor, but I think it is the mindset of the mother,
Yes. And how
you know,
much she's connected, really connected and
right?
devoted and
Because
submitted to that man.
if 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 as a single mom, I am assuming that you are dating intentionally
Absolutely.
and you are looking for not just a partner for yourself, but at that point, I would assume that you are looking for a partner who can also be a role model for your children. With that, I'm thinking that more time needs to be invested in the dating phase, and the courting phase cannot be overlooked. It cannot be skipped.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm thinking. As a single mom, like, your intentional dating, it must be extensive. Background check must be done. You know, family must be, you must meet the family of this man, and you don't skip the courting phase. Don't just get involved, start having sex sweet, and it make you feel good. So you can move in, or me and my children can move in with you. I'm thinking about it that you're dating
You have to date
intentional,
intentionally
right?
as a single
So
mom.
so if you date this guy, it simply means that in my mind, she's viewing this guy as the right candidate for herself as a spouse and for her children as a role model.
Mm-hmm.
If you truly love and respect that man when he comes into your life, I don't understand how you can't even trust him with your children.
You trust him with your body, why not with your children?
Exactly. And it baffles my mind, and that is why I would encourage any man, if you're with a single mom and you can't even discipline her child or her children, you need to leave, because it is just a clear indication that she just doesn't see you as a disciplinarian
Or a father
to her
figure
children,
to her.
or as a father figure to
Yeah.
her children.
Mhm.
Because if she saw you as a father figure, then you would be able to do that without any issue.
Yes.
So again, it's not to say that single moms don't deserve love, but realistically, there are a lot of challenges.
What are some of the other issues that men face, from what you've learned? where it concerns dating single moms?
Honestly, it's not much more than what I spoke about. Those are
Okay.
just the more prominent issues,
Yeah.
and those are the ones that are most of the times highlighted,
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a lot to the discussion. It's just the reality is that, as men, you have to understand what you're signing up for and the challenges that comes with it.
Question.
And
Sorry.
as well as you must establish boundaries
Mm-hmm.
before you enter into this relationship. And if you enter into it and the boundaries are not being, held, you just need to walk away.
Yes, absolutely. All right, gentlemen. So before you date a woman with children, you want to ask yourself a few questions. Number one, am I ready to share her attention? Number two, am I okay with not being the center of her world? Three, am I emotionally grounded enough to handle that kind of dynamic, that new family dynamic? Ask yourself those questions.
And most importantly, ask yourself, am I willing to commit to a situation that is already in motion? Because if you are the guy who wants full control of your family, dating a single mom might not be for you, So, yes, she look good, she nice, but guess what? If you know you're not gonna commit, just don't waste anybody else's time. Just don't waste their time. Let her be.
Yeah.
Live your life.
Yeah, and please don't play house with her and her children. It's not fair to her, and it's absolutely not fair to them. And as my husband said before, we're not saying that single mothers do not deserve love. Absolutely not. Because they absolutely do. But what are we saying there?
Love alone is not enough. Maturity, stability, and clear boundaries,
Crystal clear.
crystal clear, has to be established. That's key.
If it's not for you, be true to yourself and don't even enter that situation.
And
And
that's
that's
the
the unfiltered
unfiltered
truth.
truth.
Tell us what you think about this conversation. We would love to hear it in the comment section below. And remember, guys, we are always looking out for juicy comments to highlight in our videos. What's the comment of the week, babe?
Comment of the week. All right, let's go to comment of the week. Comment. You want to do the one from TikTok or hold on? I have the comment of the week here from YouTube.
Yay.
All right, comment of the week from YouTube is from Demar Tognak. Demar said, watching your videos has been genuinely uplifting. I'm inspired by how you explore connections, communication, and growth in relationships with such authenticity and care. Your messages remind me that love is not just about being together, but about being present, honest, and evolving. And that's a beautiful thing to witness. Thank you for sharing that light. Demar, we appreciate you, man.
Beautiful
We appreciate
comment.
your
Thank
comment.
you.
Comment of the week. Look out for your comment, Demar. And this was from YouTube, heading over to TikTok.
All right. So for the comment of the week on TikTok, the video, if you had to leave once, don't go back. And that is from our full video, how to tell that they're not the one for you. So this is from Women of Valor, 100 Heart Prayer Hands. This right here is no B. This is 100% truth. When you say it's over, don't go back. They will never, ever change. Manipulators, narcissist behavior, and they run and pretend like they are the good person. But time alone will tell. I wish I could like this 100 times hard. Ooh.
We appreciate your comment, woman of value 100.
A woman of valor.
Oh, woman of valor.
Yes.
Okay. We appreciate your comment.
We loved
Thank you
it.
so much for commenting. Look out for your comment and our community post on YouTube.
Yes.
Go over there, guys. Like, subscribe, push the notification button, turn on what I said, the bell. Push.
Push the notification bell.
Remember to like, share, leave your comment down
Yes.
below. You might just see it on our community post or
Yay.
in our next video.
Absolutely.
See you guys for
Another one.
And remember,
You deserve this kind of love.
All right, guys. So we actually forgot to tell you guys what we are drinking tonight.
We completely forgot it on the table.
We
So
completely forgot. So my wife is gonna do the honors.
this video is not sponsored. Today's beverage is Biota. It's an elderberry juice, and it's 2 servings in this bottle. So yeah, it's a pretty small bottle. The ingredients are organic elderberry juice, organic elderberry infusion,
What does it
and
do for you,
organic agave nectar. What I know elderberry is good for, it's a berry that's dark, so that means antioxidants.
Okay.
You know, it helps with promoting sleep. We're having it at a good time. It does
It
have
helps to promote sleep. Okay,
yes, and immune
In the night.
boosting. Is that just like medicine? But nice. The initial taste just
It's
strikes me.
refreshing.
It is very refreshing. I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be sweet. That's why we have this.
Yeah, it is very refreshing.
It has this bitters,
It's
a
slightly,
slight bitters
yeah,
taste.
but it's not an awful taste.
It's not awful.
Yeah.
Like the initial when it enters your mouth and your taste buds register it, you definitely feel the bitter. As I said, none of our videos are sponsored. If you'd like to sponsor us or you'd like to recommend that we try something, definitely go ahead and leave it in the
Definitely.
comments.
If you guys know of any fine dry wine, recommend them to us, guys, in the comment section. See you guys next week.